These are the pricing mistakes that will keep you broke as a filmmaker. This is a very interesting topic. And this topic, we are talking about pricing. And when you're talking about pricing, this is a very queer topic, and also a very topic that people tend to avoid discussing, and especially kama ni mtu una deal na clients, unatakaga like bora tu akubali job ndio tuweze kufanya. So but now let me talk about now the mistakes that we make as filmmakers when it comes to pricing. So you're either pricing for the work that you're supposed to do, or maybe you've been given what we call a terms of reference, the scope of work, to understand the scope of work so that you can do give a price. So I want to start by number one is underquoting just to win a client because you fear competition. Underquoting just to win a client. That is number one mistake that many filmmakers do, including a lot of people that I know and myself sometimes back, because you feel like, oh, this client manze inabidi tu niende like umsendo anafaa kunipea job. So you feel like if you quote maybe the right pricing, they might feel it's very expensive, so you end up underquoting ndio uweze kuwa win, and then baadaye utasafa the consequences. Pole sana. Number two, quote lump sum without itemized breakdown. So this is whereby you now just quote a figure based on you don't know anything. We unaulizwa tu unalipishaga how much kushoot video za nyumba? 20k. Okay, what is 20k? No, you need to itemize the budget. You need to understand like what does the client need in terms of before uanze ku itemize, because you have to itemize the budget. You know, what are you carrying? What gears are you carrying? Are you coming with a crew member, or are you coming alone? The magnitude of work inatoshana aje. Okay, so that's a very important thing to know. So make sure you don't charge a price don't just crowd up the price. Okay, the other thing is just accepting full payment on delivery. Hapa napo watu wengi wamekipata. Yani you get a client, and then the next thing is you guys are going to work, because ulikuwa na ile excitement like wow, huyu client ni mbigi, alafu unasema huyu client hata ni hepa. So number one, you don't even have contracts or anything, and then you are in that position ya kusema tu like it's okay, let's just do the work, you'll pay me later. That's a very big problem. So you make sure every time when you're pricing, you make sure you are able to categorize your how the payments is going to be done. Make sure you are clear with your payment terms, and don't start work without any like a deposit, which should not be less than 50%. Tafadhali, don't go start that work kama mtu hajalipa deposit ya 50%. Yeah, wacha akae na hiyo kazi yake. Number three, quoting before understanding the scope of work. Hey, hapa sasa ndio kuna kuaga na kizungumkuti. Na hapa I think most of us we just run through like mtu anakuuliza tu tuko na event fulani, we unalipishaga ngapi wedding? Mshaisikia hiyo swali? Unalipishaga ngapi wedding? So hujui wedding kama mtafanya, kuna ile preparation, kuna coverage ya church, after party na mpaka kwenda honeymoon. Wewe unasema wedding tunalipishaga 20k. Alafu mzee anakuachia hapo. Then hiyo siku ya wedo unaenda unapiga job. Mnaanza asubuhi saa 12, umefika kwa bride. By the time mnamaliza ni saa 4 usiku. So you wonder, what were you like? Make sure you take time to understand the scope of work. Okay? Ask questions. Don't price before asking questions. Kuna kwaga na hii point yenye watu wanaulizanaga like, we budget yako aya, kufanya wedding ni how much? Mzee anamwambia ni 100k. Ai, hapana, hiyo ni pesa mingi sana. We budget yako ni ngapi? Mimi nilikuwa nafikiria 15k itaweza. And then huyu msee mwingine anamwambia hapana, wacha tufanye aje? Wacha basi tufanye 30. Wewe umetoka 100 mpaka 30. But anyway, make sure you understand the scope of work. So even if this person will tell you the budget is 20,000, the scope of work yake inatoshana aje? Juu inaweza kuwa inatosha tu hiyo 20,000, because you can be, anaweza kuambia tu like ni sawa, nishutie tu reel hapo kwa church time yenye tunasema tunavalishana pete na uende. Then it makes sense. But now if you don't understand the scope of work, then don't charge. The other mistake that filmmakers we make when it comes to pricing is we charge based on the needs. Na hii nayo watu wengi sana tumejipata hapo, because what will normally happen is, nakumbuka niko na rent sijalipa, kuna sijui loan ya gari, sijui kuna nini nilikuwa nafanye, and then client ametokea hapo, halo, utanifanyia ile kazi na pesa ngapi? Wewe ndo huyo mara mbio umeenda sijui ati it's okay, just pay me, maybe you pay rent of 10,000 bob, and the scope of work haitoshani na 10,000 shillings, so you're just charging ndio uende ulipe, maybe you pay a certain bill or you pay for a certain service yenye maybe ulikuwa unataka. So make sure when you are charging, don't charge with a need in mind. We jua needs zako zitakuwa covered na vitu zenye zinafaa cover needs, but not the price that you're charging your client. Okay, so the price that you're charging should be able to factor in all the things that are needed to accomplish the work to be done. Next one is never increasing prices over time. Never increasing prices over time. So what do I mean by this? Guys, kama umekuwaga ukilipisha wedding 20,000 2018, saizi tuko 2026, bado unalipisha wedding 18,000, kichwa yako ni mzuri? Hapana. Please make sure you also flow with the current growth of the economy. We ushaienda kwa supermarket ukapata ati unga ulinunua 50 bob 2018, sasa sahi bado utanunua unga 50 bob? No. Everything, when the economy is affected, everything is affected, including that pricing, because fuel money ita increase. Transport money for you to go on that set, it may increase. Buying the gears and hiring people, crew members to work with, it may increase. Out of work in the same level all along. So please make sure you work on increasing prices. So when you don't increase prices, that's a very big mistake you're making, and it will make you remain broke as a filmmaker. The next one is not charging for revisions. Hii nayo hapa tumekuwa na mashida sana na clients, and I think we need to have a discussion to just have an understanding, like what is the problem with some clients, because huyu mtu mtaagree na yeye ni sawa, you've understood the scope of work, you've charged for the labor for the work that you're doing, including the editing packages, and then also make sure in your contract pia ni important to mention how many revisions are you doing. Yes, you can allow your client to have maybe as much as a maximum of 2 revisions. Atume, akurudishie, atume, tena hivyo. But si sasa, atume, ati, na hiyo music ni kama nilisikia iko na shida. Haya, uende uchange music, mtumie. Na huyu mtu venye alikuwa anaongea, hiyo suti yake ilikuwa imekaa, unaweza tumia shotting. Okay, sawa, this is the final one, unatuma. Then kidogo, misspell. Ule nanisi kwa nataka andiko hivyo, ebu delete hiyo jina yake hapo. Man, when it starts getting there, now this is something that you need to stipulate very clearly in your contracts in your contract or your term of engagement. Okay, so those are just some, but a few zenye zinahusiana na zile mistakes zenye sisi kama filmmakers we make. So I will just really I will urge us, when we get into that position yenye tumepatana na client, or we want to charge for certain type of work, make sure you understand the following. Understand the scope of work. Number 2, have an understanding of what is the client's need. And then another thing is, what value are you bringing? Because sometimes you might be there and your problem is not the pricing. Your problem is mostly connected to the value that you're bringing to that person. So most of the time, attach your price to value rather than attaching the price to needs. Okay? Then the other thing, understand this, the explain in your contract your payment terms. Kama ni mtu analipa deposit, alafu mkifika, alafu sijui ndio by the time unafanya delivery, unapewa pesa zako. Make sure that is very clearly stipulated in the contract. Then the other thing, which is last but not least, make sure you also state how many revisions are you going to do. Otherwise, you'll find yourself revising that project mpaka mjipate mnatengeneza another new project from the one that you had edited. So please, all the time, remember, pricing is very key, and this is what will keep you stand out in the film industry and when it comes to economical strength. So make sure you understand your pricing and understand the model of pricing for every work that you're doing. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them so that we can be able to engage on the same and understand how we can be able to help one another build this. But again, we have a problem yenye tu hii kosa kumention as we finish up. Because there are people who want to charge for portfolio purposes. Unapatana tu na msee niaje like wewe umecharge ngapi wedding? Mimi nimeamua tu nimshutie for free because unajua nataka kujenga portfolio. Wewe. I think we need just some guilds, we need some bit of associations that can be able to protect all of us in the industry, because some of these things zinaend up kuharibu even our future works or maybe other relationships zenye tumekuwa nazo na clients because of just unprofessionalism when it comes to pricing. So please, when you're there watching and you're doing this kind of work, make sure you know how to price professionally for your work so that you don't remain broke, and plus usiharibu kazi za watu wengine. All the best.